doing is correcting this little bit here. Just enough to take the eye off of it. I think I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of black on there with my
Good morning po.
afternoon.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Hello guys.
Right, you see this nice, looks like an awful lot of dirt in this, but it's actually not the case. It's not dirt, it's the flake, because it doesn't always lay flat. I put about 6 coats on this and I left it for 3 days to dry. What
Okay.
I've done see I've been sanding here. This is pretty smooth now. You haven't got to get it dead flat. Because we're going to put, I'm going to put another coat of clear over the top of this. This could be called a flow coat. What you have to be careful of with this flake, especially with one that isn't silver. With silver, you can get away with, if you hit the top of the head off of a silver flake, it's not going to change colour. Where if it's anything other than silver, you knock the head of it off, it will become silver. And then what you've got to do is very carefully with some, let's say it's a blue, with some blue candy, if you've got it, of course if you haven't, you're screwed, is to touch in very carefully over that bit of silver. I don't know if you can see this just here, right?
The two white.
Yeah, that's probably the head or part of the red flake where I've knocked the head of it off and it's now silver. But you're not going to see that, I mean, from a distance. So what I'm going to do, so it's better to just get it more or less like this, for want of a better, not to go for full flat, because the next coat of clear will cover this in any case. And where this is here, it tapers down. Once I've sanded this down, I'm going to show you how I'm going to even this up. This, you can see, compared to this line here, or even from here to here, no need to panic. We don't have to worry too much about where the red is. Oh yeah, I'd have done. here. See this? My gun dripped for some reason in two places. I'm going to sand that out. Carefully minding the edges. And being gentle when you have to go around the edge. There's another one here. When you're applying multiple coats of lacquer, you have to leave a good amount of time in between coats, because you'll get what's called solvent pop, and that is where the underlying coat hasn't dried fully, the solvents are still coming out. The fresh coat over the top will trap the solvents and you get very small bubbles. If that was to be the case, not a problem here, because we're going to sand this, we're sanding this down and going to put a coat of clear over the whole lot. A flow coat to get it nice and smooth. There'll be a couple of coats in any case. If you've got solvent pop, you're sanding it down, you're going to get rid of it. But if you were going for a gun finish, getting solvent pop, you've got to deal with that. You're not going to sand that out and polish it. You've got to sand it down and recoat with clear, or if you're using a solid colour, give it another coat of that colour. Better to try and avoid it. Take your time. Depending on the temperature, how quickly or not you recoat or put your next coat over. This is like spots. I'm forming up in here now, or is it just me? See the bigger spots here. Work on those individually, knock the head off them. You see it's still shiny along that edge. There, I'm keeping well away from that with this paper. I don't wish to cause myself any more problems. And gently right on that edge there. I'll get rid of these here. Just be careful there. You see here, the reason that's shiny there is because this is thicker than here. There's a slight edge. But I need to get rid of that shine. I'm going to take these couple out here. There we go. Maybe here a little bit. Very gently along here. I like to, when it's finished, there's no ridge. It's smooth right the way across. Here it's quite pronounced, you can see, because it's clear there. This is, not surprisingly, quite thick. Let me get there. I go over the whole thing with a sponge, then I can go into all the now it's not smooth, but it's not like this. The sponge, we need to get it all matted off like that, so the next coat of clear sticks. It's not going to stick to any shiny paint, so that's important. See the way round in here. I'm actually pushing my finger in along this edge here to get the sponge to go into the step down, if you like, from between the two colours. A thicker black, and on that edge there, just with the sponge, you see here we've got some shine around. I didn't want to go too far because this is up high. Down there it didn't matter, well, so it didn't matter. It looks as though I went through, but if I knocked the head off of one here, you would see it. Now that's the same here, all the way along. Right. I can actually feel that. Right, my next task, I'm going to wipe this with degreaser. I'm going to mask this black line out here. I'm going to go around here, cover or mask the red out actually. This bottom line's okay. It's just this needs correcting up here. So I'm going to mask along here for a way, then mask along here, and this. So just with degreaser on it gives you, well, just so you got the liquid. But what we
Okay.
see how that's done. Feeling is correcting this little bit here. Just enough to take the eye off of it. I think I'm just going to use a tiny little bit of black on there with my it's a little trick I was shown by an old work colleague of mine. I've taken this is my mini gun. I've taken the pot off. I've put just enough paint in there, or more than enough, just to blow that in. Saves having to clean all of the pot out. Hopefully, dust on. Turn this down. Just enough to get that line back. I've now contaminated this gun for the rest of its life with red metal flakes, something I didn't really want to do. I guess I could have put it back in this, taken the pot off. Anyway. Nothing fancy about this. I don't know, it was some old, well, it's a spray gun, pump gun, whatever. It's not designed for thinners, but it seems to last a good few years. I've put over here with the trigger pulled back, kind of pressure washing. Hopefully the flipping flake out of it. Oh, you can just do some there. Right. That's going to get attention in due course. I keep all my tapes in a plastic box. Helps to preserve them. They're not used all the time. Right, let's get this demasked. Yeah, it's a bit better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. We've still got, you're not going to see it too good because it's satin, but we have the flake in there. If I'd have done that just with a solid black, yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
More importantly is it doesn't taper. Right.
Perfect.
I'm going to now mix up some clear coat. I treated myself to a new gun, but I haven't got enough. But I'm going to use this purely for lacquer. Again, it's a low volume, low pressure. Has some very good reviews. It's an R500. It's supposed to be of a copy, I'll get into the light, of the Iwata W400. Whereas this is a high volume, low pressure. This is a low volume, low pressure. For a budget gun, this is supposed to be very good. I need to run some thinners through it. I'm only going to mix up a very small amount, 50 milliliters of clear. How easier that comes off compared to the other day. Up to B. Give that a stir. Right. I've no idea whether I'm going to... I've made the necessary adjustments to the air coming in to the respirator and the gun. It feels very nice, this gun. Very pleased. Improvement over what we had a few weeks ago. But now when you come into the sun, the dark and the shade, it looks like just black and red. See, there's no, you can't see the flake. It's got half in the sun and half out. And in the shades you can see a lot easier how flat that is. No dents. As soon as you get that into the sun, it comes alive. Okay.
One more shot.
That's a wrap.
Okay.
Right, thank you. If you've enjoyed following my journey or the journey of this GP Lambretta side panel, don't forget to subscribe, like, make a comment. If you think I did something wrong, want further tips, follow me for the next, whatever comes along next. I'm sure to share it with you. I promise to finish everything that I start out to.
Then
Thank you.
yeah.